Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak from Your Highest Light, Master Life Coach, helping you cultivate more inner peace and create a more beautiful life. So I'm here on Facebook and Instagram every Tuesday, and this video is also going to be on YouTube later. So if you're watching it on YouTube, go ahead and like it if you like it, and go ahead and click that bell so you get notified when I put a new video up. If you're watching this on Instagram or Facebook, let me know. If you're watching it on replay, do hashtag replay. So go ahead and send me an emoji if you want to let me know where you're from. Hi Mary, hi Roy, so good to see you guys. Excited to be here. So today I want to talk about, on Instagram, you guys can see Prudence. Here she is. My dog's on my lap. I was gone today and I came back and she's like on top of me. So today I want to talk to you guys about inner peace and cultivating more inner peace to create hope in your life. So really what I'm going to be talking about is hope. And I know from my mental health background, you guys know that I worked as a psychotherapist for over a decade. And just from that and from my life experience, I know that if we have hope, we have everything. And that's part of my job, is to help people find hope. So help people find more hopeful thoughts and a more hopeful way of being. Okay, so go ahead. I had to go ahead and fix that. So this is the time that I want to talk about this because of the seasons. And I always talk about where I live right now, it's spring. And I always talk about how we want to work with nature instead of work against nature. And right now is a perfect time to talk about hope because, like where I live, it's spring and there's things coming out of the ground. I've been talking about this on my social media because I'm obsessed with this time of year. It is a symbol of hope. And so we want to work with nature and not against nature. I'm all about connecting with nature. And so when we work with nature, we can really cultivate more hope right now this time of year, and we can figure out what thoughts create more hope in our lives and what actions create more hope in our lives. Hi Eric, hi Juan, so good to see you guys. We're talking about hope today. And so, like I said, I've been posting pictures of like things coming out the ground. I asked yesterday for you guys to play a game with me, and I would love to see what you guys, things that are popping out of the ground, putting a picture on Instagram or Facebook and tagging me, because cultivate inner peace when we do this. It helps us focus on the good. It helps us focus on something that's going well in our lives. And when we wake up in the morning and I talk about gratitude all the time too. When we wake up in the morning and we're looking for things to be grateful for, this is just another one of those things to be grateful for. It really changes our brain. We talk about neuroplasticity, talk about hope. You know, all this research now on neuroplasticity, where we can actually change our brains by changing how we think and changing what we do. It's amazing. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I know some of you guys have heard this story, but you guys already know I'm very open about my background with my struggles and my background with depression and anxiety. And when I was in the midst of it, when I was about 32, when I was in the midst of just terrible anxiety, and it was about this time of year, so I'm going to be 42 here soon. So I must have been like 32. I think it was like 10 years ago. I was not doing coaching at the time. So it was just really bad. And my mom actually I lived by myself. Bought me flowers. Not the kind of flowers that are cut, but she bought me flowers that I could put on my balcony and take care of them and watch them grow. I wish I knew. Now I'm obsessed with flowers, so I would have known what kind they were, but I can't remember what kind they were. And I just remember like feeling that at the time. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit what I was going through with my anxiety. I never have really talked about this, I don't think. I had developed some sort of odd body dysmorphic disorder. And if any of you guys know about what body dysmorphic disorder is, this wasn't necessarily about being skinny. A lot of times people have this when they have eating disorders. They look in the mirror and they see like a big fat person when that's not who they are. So you actually see something different in the mirror. So it wasn't really, that's not what it was. I'm not going to get into that. But with people, when they develop something like this, it's an obsession. And if you talk to people who've ever experienced something like this, it gets to the point where what they're worried about, it doesn't even matter if it happens. It's the thoughts about it that are so bad. It's like you're worried about something being wrong with your body, something looking a certain way, but it's not even necessarily that. It gets so bad in this crazy spiral where it's just your mind that you want to shut it up. You don't even care about the actual thing that you're worried about. I don't know if that makes sense. It's really hard to explain, but the only way that I can kind of explain it is I had gotten to a point where I didn't want to go on. So it was to the point where I was thinking about not wanting to be here anymore. And I take that very seriously. You know, I'm a super positive person. So when people hear that those used to be my thoughts, they're very surprised. And I am a super positive person. And sometimes I kind of laugh about it. And it's not even a coping mechanism. It's just that I think it's good to laugh. You know, I can look back at the things that I had created inside my head now and laugh because I can see that they're not true. But anyway, at that point, it was just horrible, you know, and so when you're at the point where you don't want to go on, obviously when you get to that point, you have lost hope. So I didn't have any hope that things were going to get better for me. I just didn't have hope that I could deal with this any longer. And what happened was that summer, when my mom had got me those flowers and I could see the flowers grow, it gave me such hope. It was like something is growing if after the winter, all this dead stuff is in the ground, right? And like now, I'm gonna post a picture of this later. You see the green stuff growing out of that dead stuff, and it's like, oh my God, it's hopeful. Things can grow again. I can change, you know, I can grow new thoughts. I can grow a new body. That's actually true because your body cells, I think it's every 7 years we actually have a whole new body. So there's hope, you know, and so we want to build on this. We want to build on this season and figure out what kind of thoughts make us more hopeful and what kind of thoughts make us hopeless. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, I want you to think right now, what are some thoughts that you have now or that you've had in the past that have been distressing and have you feeling hopeless? Now, so I'm going to go over kind of what some of those thoughts might be. So anytime you're thinking something like, hi, William, so good to see you. So anytime you're thinking something like, this is always this way, that all people suck, you know, people are out to get me. When we're looking at things in all or nothing terms, it's never going to get better. When we use those types of terms, that is a hopeless way of thinking. It's not giving us a lot of hope. Thinking, everybody's like this. It's always like this. It's never going to get better. And you can actually hear it in people's speech. I caught my husband the other day complaining about something. I don't remember what it was, but he kind of made a overall statement about everybody. And I'm like, no, that's not everybody. It was that one person. So isn't that annoying to have a wife who is also a psychotherapist? But anyway, and a life coach. But anyway, that's beside the point. So when we start thinking in all or nothing terms, that's hopeless. So I want you guys to think, what are some thoughts right now that give you hope? So start thinking about so when you're starting to think about a difference, you know, like I could make a difference in the future. My future could be different. We start looking for that things change all the time. Like we're never stuck. We always have a choice. We can choose a different life. We can choose a different perspective. One of my favorite prayers, and of course A Miracle, like the major prayer, is God, help me to see this differently. So knowing that you have a choice, that it's not always one road, that is hope. So we want to make sure that we're building on hope this time of year. What other thoughts? I'm trying to think. What other thoughts are hopeful thoughts this time of year, or any time of year? I was going to say something else about it. I have to think, guys. I know I get it out. Okay, so yes. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're not thinking all or nothing thinking, that we are helping ourselves think better thoughts, things that could be different in the future. Oh, I know what else I wanted to talk about. When we talk about health, when we're thinking about our health, like that's why I feel like I said that already about my job, that I feel like my job really I help people to find a more hopeful way of thinking and a more hopeful way of, when I started doing like essential oils for some reason, it was another option. And like that helped me to feel hopeful about my health, that there's another option, there's a natural option for me available, you know, and then that's hopeful. So anytime you like do any like alternative healing, or you research any like different way of thinking or feeling, that gives you hope. We're looking for hope, okay? So I want you to make sure you're cultivating hope this time of year. This is the time of year to do it. Think about what thoughts make you feel hopeful and what thoughts make you feel hopeless. When you're stuck in the hopeless thoughts, they're pretty, usually, I believe they're pretty inaccurate. I believe that we're not thinking clearly necessarily when we're thinking hopeless thoughts, because there's always hope. There's hope in every situation. We can always cultivate it. Honestly, even when it's like an end of life situation, like that, I'm trying to think of a situation where people might say, oh, there's no hope. Even when it's like an end of life situation, when you have a strong spiritual background and you don't believe that this body is it, okay, so I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. And I just really wanted to get on here and to encourage you guys to think hopeful thoughts this time of year, and just connect with me down and know that this is a hopeful time, and it's time to really build on that. In coaching, we really build on strengths. I was just telling my mom this, because I'm doing this strengths inventory right now, and this is a good homework assignment, where you go and you ask 3 different people, like, what do they consider your strengths? And so when I was like, probably when I was in the midst of everything I was telling you guys about, even before that, I was looking for an answer to the problems that I had. So I was looking to get diagnosed. I went to like mental health professionals. Nothing against mental health professionals. They do wonderful things. But sometimes when we're looking to solve the problem, we're looking to people to diagnose us and to fix those problems. Instead of focusing now, what I do is I focus on my strengths. So instead of fixing the problems, we want to focus more on cultivating our strengths. So what are your strengths? When we think about strengths-based thinking, that is more hopeful than thinking about what is wrong with us. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Love you guys. I will see you guys next week. I will be here next Tuesday at 3:33. I can't wait to see you guys then. Let me know if you have anything that you want me to talk about. Oh, I was going to talk about this week as well. So I am taking new clients for my life coaching. So I have an availability right now for 3 new clients. The application's on. I will actually put the link below for the application, and my application's also on Instagram. So if you go on Instagram and you go into my bio, you'll see that the application's there to work with me. It takes like a minute to fill out the application so I can get to know more about you. But I've come out with some new coaching packages, some things to help people at every area that you've been at in your life. And I'm going to actually I'll go on live and talk more about this. But if you are interested in cultivating more inner peace and creating a more beautiful life, then my I've, like I said, I've developed some packages, and I've had a lot of people lately giving me like reviews and testimonials. I've been talking about them a lot on my Instagram stories, so I guess I should get on here and talk a little bit more about some of those as well. But one of the questions people ask me a lot is like, how many sessions do I need? And I have packages right now of like 4 or 8 or even 2 sessions. I've had clients come to me for like 4 sessions and break through a major block. I actually just had that happen with a client who came to me for 4 sessions and broke through like a major fear that she was having in her life. But I have another client who just told me that she, she's doing really well, but she bought the 8-session package. She's probably on her like 12th session with me. And then I have another client who is doing super awesome, and I've been seeing him for like over a year. He's bought different packages for me. So it really kind of depends on your needs. I base it on the needs of the client. But those are just kind of some examples of how many sessions people have needed. So if you guys have any questions, so you know that you can contact me, Elizabeth@yourhighestlight.com. This blog will be up too on my website, yourhighestlight.com later. Hi, Rose. So good to see you. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you too. Okay, you guys, I'm going now, but I hope that you cultivate more hope right now. And, let me know, comment below on what some thoughts that you have right now that you can get behind, that you can believe, that are thoughts that are hopeful. Some hopeful thoughts right now. So these are thoughts where you're looking forward to the future, where you're thinking like, okay, yes, maybe that's true, but this is also true. So something Gabby Bernstein says a lot is like looking at things more generally. So like for instance, say you have gained 10 pounds and you're like, you could go down a road of like putting on your pants and they don't work, they don't fit. And you could go down this road of just like hating yourself, right? Or you could think, okay, how can I make this more general? How can I make this less personal? What would I say to a friend in this situation? Well, I would say that it's totally not a big deal. 10 pounds, if I need to lose it, I can, I just can develop better eating habits. And actually I'll feel better if I do that. So that's a more hopeful way. So sometimes to feel more hopeful or to think about more hopeful thoughts, it's good to think about something more generally and less think about it less personal. Think about what you would tell a friend in that situation. Okay? Okay. Love you guys. I will see you guys next Tuesday at 3:33. I'll be here. Bye.